I call to order the meeting of the Planning Commission for July 9th, 2025. I now ask for a moment of silence. Commissioner Swigert, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now move on to roll call. Vicky, please.
Commissioner Ochoa,
Present.
Smith,
Present.
Greggins,
Present.
Delgadillo,
Present.
Swigert,
Present.
Tao,
Here.
and Chairperson Gonzalez.
Present. We have a quorum. Vicky will now read information about how the public may participate in the meeting.
Members of the audience who wish to address the Planning Commission are requested to complete a speaker card available at the podium at the back of the council chamber. Please submit the completed card to the clerk before the item is called, preferably before the meeting begins. I would like to briefly go over the process of submitting comments to the Planning Commission. Please submit your public comment to the Planning Commission electronically no later than 1 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Comments received before the deadline will be sent to the Planning Commission and will be part of the record and mentioned as part of the public comment portion of the agenda. Material may be emailed to planningweb@cityofmerced.org and should be limited to 300 words or less. Please specify which portion of the agenda you are commenting on. For example, oral communications or item number. Your comments will be presented to the Planning Commission at the appropriate time. Any correspondence received after 1 p.m. will be distributed to the Planning Commission and retained for the official record. To view video or listen to the Planning Commission meeting live, go to the city's website, www.cityofmerced.org, Facebook Live, or Comcast Public Access Channel 96.
Thank you, Vicky. We now move to item C, public comment. Members of the public who wish to speak on any matter not listed on the agenda may speak during this portion of the meeting and will be allotted 3 minutes. State law prohibits the Planning Commission from acting at this meeting on any matter raised during the public comment period. Members of the public who wish to speak on a matter that is listed on the agenda will be called upon to speak during discussion of that item. Vicky, do we have any requests to speak?
We do not.
Thank you. We now move on to item D, consent calendar, including minutes. Would the commission like to remove any items for separate consideration? Do we have any requests to speak forms from any of the consent items?
We do not.
I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar, including minutes.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Delgadillo, a second from Commissioner Ochoa. Please cast your votes. Where's the vote tally? And we are past 7-0. Let's clear this. Tally. Clear that. Yeah. Back to vote. Okay. We now move on to item E, public hearings. Item E1, Vicky?
General Plan Amendment Number 2403, Residential Plan Development, Establishment Number 83, Vesting Tentative Subdivision Map Number 1333, Zone Change Number 435, and Environmental Review Checklist Number 2430, initiated by Lennar Homes of California on behalf of Merced Gateway LLC and Lions Investments property owners. These actions are to support the construction of over 61 acres of residential development, up to 570 detached units, and over 9 acres of commercial development. The approximate 73.7 acre subject site is located at 3610 East Girard Avenue. APNs 061-680-001, 061-710-0009, and 061-710-0023, generally located on the southwest corner of East Girard Avenue and Campus Parkway. General Plan Amendment number 2403. General Plan Amendment number 2403.
I'm try one more time. Okay. Good evening. The project I have before you today is General Plan Amendment number 2403, Residential Plan Development Establishment number 83, Vesting Tentative Subdivision Map number 1333, Zone Change number 435, and Environmental Review Checklist number 2430. This is for a residential development of 570 residential lots with commercial and park areas. This is located at the southwest corner of East Girard Avenue and Campus Parkway. This map shows where the project is located at a city-scale context at the southwest quadrant of the city limits. Here is a closer map of the location. As mentioned previously, it is located at the southwest corner of East Girard Avenue and Campus Parkway. The site is approximately 73.7 acres with agricultural uses to the east, south, and some to the west, some commercial to the west, and single-family residential to the north. The subject site was annexed into the city in 1999 as part of the Lyons annexation. This annexation incorporated a total of 565 acres into the city limits. The subject site has a current land use designation of business park and manufacturing/industrial and has remained vacant for many decades. Next, I'll go over the entitlement applications for this project and what each are for. The Planning Commission has the authority to make a recommendation to the City Council for General Plan Amendment number 2403, which would change the land use designation of the proposed residential areas from business park and manufacturing industrial to low-medium density residential and high-medium density residential. Establishment of a residential plan development number 83 would establish a new residential plan development for this area. And zone change number 435 would change the proposed residential areas to the residential plan development number 83. The Planning Commission can make final action on vesting tentative subdivision map number 1333, which is to subdivide the 2 commercial parcels, park areas, and create 570 residential lots, and environmental review number 2430, which is a mitigated negative declaration. This is a street view from the southwest corner of the project site on Mission, looking north at the project site. This is another street view from the northeast corner of the project site at the corner of East Girard Avenue and Campus Parkway, looking south at the project site. Displayed here is the proposed vesting tentative subdivision map. 61 of the 73.7 acres would be subdivided into the residential lots, and 9 acres would stay business park for future commercial development. This map is divided into 2 sections, north and south of Campus Parkway. North of Campus Parkway would accommodate 328 residential lots that would range in size from 2,800 to 6,889 square feet. There would also be 2.4 acres of park area towards the northeast corner of the site, and 4.35 acres of the 9 proposed for commercial would be at the southwest corner of this section. South of Campus Parkway would accommodate 242 residential lots ranging in size from 2,375 to 5,835 square feet. This section would have 0.6 acres of park area and the remaining 4.65 acres of commercial at the southwest corner of this section as well. These would be the dimensions of the interior streets of the subdivision, which include 49 and 64 feet of right-of-way, including curb and gutter, sidewalks, and landscaping. These here would be the improvements for the existing streets surrounding the site. This includes Girard Avenue, Mission Avenue, and Plum Drive. Here you can see the existing and the proposed land uses. To the left of the screen, the purple displays the existing business park designation and a small corner of industrial. Whereas to the right, we can see the proposed low-medium density in orange and the proposed high-medium density in brown. The two sections in purple would stay business park. This proposal also includes a parking plan, since the lot widths would limit the amount of street parking available for the subdivision. Each lot would provide parking for 2 cars, one in the garage and one in the driveway. 1 street parking space would be provided in between every other lot, displayed in the small green lines in this picture. Here's a close-up picture of how the parking would look like. This image displays space for fire hydrants, streetlights, and trash bins. The development standards for the low-medium density residential portion of the proposed would include single and two-story single-family detached homes with the maximum height of 32 feet. Each home will have at least a 2-car garage and 2 18-foot deep parking spaces for a standard size vehicle in the driveway. The house should have setbacks of 10 feet at the front yard, 5 feet at the interior side yard, and 7 feet at the rear yard. The development standards for the high-medium density residential portion of the proposed would include 2-story single-family detached homes with a maximum height of 32 feet. Each home will have at least 1-car garage and 1 18-foot deep parking space for the standard size vehicle in the driveway. The house setbacks include 10 feet at the front yard, 5 feet at the interior side yard, 12 feet at the rear yard. Both low, medium, and high medium density lots would have a 6-foot tall privacy fence between each home. These fences must not block the clear vision triangle of a public right-of-way or a driveway. These are the proposed elevations for the smaller lots that would mostly be located south of Campus Parkway. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the left and right side elevations. The picture at the top right displays one option of the front elevations, and the picture to the left displays the proposed plot plan and setbacks for these lots. These are some more elevations. These are the single-story units with 2-car garages and their plot plans. These would be located north of Campus Parkway. Here we have more elevations provided for the 2-story, 2-car garage homes that would also be located north of Campus Parkway. Some of the impacts the neighborhood may have if this project were to be approved would include the vibration noises during construction. To limit this impact, staff has added condition number 39, which restricts the hours of construction to not take place between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 a.m. Condition number 37 was also added to require an approximate 7-foot tall block wall along arterial and collector roads to mitigate noise levels from the roads to the neighborhood. Some of the notable conditions included in the admin report include condition number 15 that requires the developer address general stormwater drainage on site unless approved by the city engineer or their designee. The developer would need to submit stormwater drainage plans and agreements, if applicable, with their final map application and all to be approved by the city engineer. Condition number 35 reiterates that the vesting tentative subdivision map does not become effective until the general plan amendment, zone change, and establishment of residential plan development are approved by the city council. And condition number 44, which states that any modifications to the street parking plan shall be reviewed by the Director of Development Services or designee. There was also some changes to other conditions that Johnny would go over now.
Thank you, Valeria. Staff met with the applicant, and we were able to work through a couple of the condition changes that I want to bring before you tonight. So for condition number 7, we're going to change the condition that the project shall comply with all requirements of the California Building Code and FEMA NFIP regulations for building and structures in a special flood hazard areas. We've also agreed to strike condition 11, which has to do with sound walls being coated in graffiti protectant. I did speak with our Public Works Director, and he did not believe that that condition was necessary, so we're striking that. Condition 22, which currently states that developer will provide their fair share of improvements as determined by the city engineer. We're adding and/or substantiated studies, including but not limited to street, curb, sidewalk, and any traffic control devices along Plime, Girard, Campus Parkway, and/or Mission. And then for condition number 37, we have agreed that they can build, instead of the height of a 7-foot sound wall, we're looking at a 6.8-foot sound wall. So we've agreed that that'll meet the needs. And that'll be all.
Thank you. After opening the public comment period, the Planning Commission may recommend the approval, modification, or denial of General Plan Amendment number 2403, Establishment of Residential Plan Development number 83, and Zone Change number 435. The Planning Commission may approve, modify, or deny Vesting Tentative Subdivision Map number 1333 and Environmental Review number 2430, which is mitigated negative declaration. The approval of these applications is contingent upon City Council approval of the General Plan Amendment, Zone Change, and Establishment of Residential Plan Development. That now concludes staff's presentation. I am available for any questions, and the applicant is also here.
Thank you, Valera, for going through the presentation. Are there any questions for the project planner from the commission? Not at this time. I had one. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Well, I have a question. I just wanted to, if you can, go back to the slide. I'm not too sure if it was in there. It said that there was some park areas. I just really couldn't see where they were outlined on the grid.
So in the north of Campus Parkway, I'm just gonna divide it in two since the project's kind of divided into and it's easier to see.
Yeah.
The park is at the northeast. It's like that kind of like telephone shape.
Oh, is
Yes. And there's a smaller portion right
this is-
south
is
of
this
that.
here?
It's like a
Okay,
bigger
okay.
lot.
This is the park area here? Okay, perfect.
And then at the southern portion, it is Lot F at the top right corner
Right
as
here on
well.
the top here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Commissioner Swigert?
A quick question. Are the park dimensions the same from the original commercial standings to now when they want to rezone it for residential? Are they the same size as far as the dimensions? It's a half an acre, a little over half an acre to the south, and then, what is it, acre and something to the north. I just want to make sure they're the same size. They haven't been reduced.
There are currently no parks that are located specifically on these sites. This is the first proposal we've had for this site, I think, in a long time. So the parks that you see proposed are the parks that they are planning to build.
I guess my question was there anything proposed prior for parks?
Do you mean proposed to staff prior to this?
Correct.
Pending?
When it was zoned for commercial, was there any of the land that was set aside for parks?
No.
That's all I was asking.
No.
Okay.
Commissioner Greggins?
Yeah, since the topic of parks came along, and I think our general plan says something about that the parks must be developed at the same time as the project, right? But do we have any actual time limits on that in regards to, will it be before the permits, before model homes are built, before the first occupancy? I mean, because we see a lot of previous developments that parks are kind of waiting out there in the wind.
Maybe we should have the applicant talk about their plan, and then we can address the park question after that. I
Fair
think
enough.
that they might be able to answer that question.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for our planner?
I got that. Personally, I like the idea. I'm on a $20 million bond to build a new school for Weaver, and we're gonna put a school out there in that area. And we do need more houses out there, and that'll be perfect for the kids and the kids in the community. I love it. It's a great idea, and we need it in the community. Thank you.
All right. No other questions from the commissioner for the planner? Okay. This is a public hearing. At this time, I will open the hearing for public comment. I invite the applicant to speak. The applicant will have a total of 15 minutes, including rebuttal time. If you wish to reserve time for rebuttal, please conclude your remarks to give yourself time. At this time, we invite the applicant to come up and there it is right there.
Can I be heard? Okay. Thank you, commissioners, chairperson, city staff. We appreciate all your time and efforts to help us here. I represent Lennar Homes. I'm Director of Entitlements. My name is Walter Diamond. I reside in Fresno, California. And with me, I have also the owner of the property from Merced Gateway, Tim Jones. So on this project here, I will have to say, being so late as we will be, I do appreciate the Planning Commission's efforts to stay late and work hard in this area. I've done it myself before in the past, and obviously my wife and family are waiting for me when I get home, so, you know, hopefully I drive carefully on my way back to Fresno, you know, we get there all in a timely fashion. But we've been working on this project with the owner of the property for about a year. We're really excited about it. We worked in Merced previously in Moraga. It's been about 3, maybe 4 years since we closed out of those projects, and we're excited to get back into Merced. And obviously, this area really has need with the campus, with the students, with first-time buyers, and even move-up buyers on either product, actually. So if you look at the map, the Treasures is up on top. That's more of a move-up product. The Alpha can go either way, but predominantly first-time buyer, and then obviously the Welton, which we have, that product's being built in Texas. We have some pictures of it. It's in our core library. Lennar has a core library across the nation of product, and that's one of them that we're excited about building down here. It's a much better alternative to townhomes and doing multifamily and having HOAs. So to get the density of where we need to be for that zoning and to make the project work fiscally for us, I mean, that's a better application towards it. And if you could go ahead and move forward on the slide, or do I push? Thank you. Sorry about that. And so this is just the overhead, the aerial. You saw that in the presentations, obviously the ingress egress from Highway 99 and on through onto Campus Parkway. Easy access to bicycle trails. We're really excited about building along Campus Parkway there and you know, being cognizant of the walls and also, you know, the access from Campus Parkway, more so from in-track. And then as you go forward here, this is our Treasures, which you saw earlier. We're selling really well with this and building really well with this. and the marketing comments on it are doing in Madera, where we've worked previously with the owner of the property there on a couple successful projects in Riverstone. So we're building the treasures out there. It's been received real well in Bakersfield, Madera, and a few other, Clovis even, and in Fresno as well. We're really excited about that project and those single stories, which are really nice. And then here's the plot plans and the product information. So of the treasures on the low, medium, 151 units, and the lot widths and the height of the single stories, they're all single stories. These are the 3 individual plans for the treasures. They're all the singles. And then this is the alpha product with the 2-story for the higher density or the lower density on the northern portion of the project. We've just started this product in a couple places in Madera County and in Fresno County, and it's so far been received real well. We're really excited about it. This is more of a move-up or a family configuration, with the 2 stories. And then as we move forward here, we have the plot plans, again, and then the project information, 177 of the alpha units. Lennar we like to, have different product lines, 3 or 4, spread it around, spruce up the streetscape, have different elevations, try to get out of the mundane and the over consistency. And sometimes you see in projects so that we don't look like it's just all one class. And then here's the Welton. This is in the Texas area where they've already had move-ins and started building them and been received really, really well. Here we'll have fence lines, but you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like in a finished setting. 3 to 4 bedrooms, 3 is a minimum, and 4 is a really great bonus too to have it. And then there's the product information for the Welton product, which is south of Campus Parkway. That we would consider our first-time buyer, maybe investors that, for students, those types of things. Some more pictures of the Welton product in a finished setting. Again, shows the parking and how that works. So you have that deep enough driveway to put a truck on it. You have a driveway, you have the garage for another car, and you have the additional 142 parking spaces outside on the streets for the entire section of the south of Campus Parkway. And that would be it for that. Can I help you answer any questions? And then I know there was one question, if you can remind me of what it was, about timing. What was it? Somebody had a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Commissioner
Yeah, I had
Gergens.
the question regarding the parks. As you are building out the developments, when do you foresee the parks being completed? Would that be,
We don't want to be, like you said, late enders. We kind of have a in-house division company policy. We want that park done before the first occupancy.
before the first?
That's our
occupancy?
goal. That's how we work. And sometimes we don't get there. Maybe there's a permit that has to be pulled for playground equipment or some unforeseen delay, but it never does really delay us much longer beyond the goal of delivering parks for people when they first move in. So they have a place to go with their families. I have a nice little pocket park where I live in Fresno, and it's just great to have it. So we want them to enjoy it right from the beginning. That's our policy.
Would you be opposed to putting that to condition 42, that we have the parks being built out before occupancy?
How about by the 50th occupancy?
By the
Just to
what
be safe
occupancy?
for problems that could arise.
No, condition 42, not the number of houses built.
Okay?
Would you be against putting that as a condition, that you would have the parks built by the first occupancy?
I would not be opposed to the condition, but I think that there should be some language modified in there for things that could come up that I can't control. City permits, playground equipment that sometimes is delayed in ordering. Not delayed on ordering on our part, but being delayed in being built and constructed. As we have problems with transformers with PG&E, we have problems with park equipment and supply and demand, and we have problems with other items like pipe. So I don't mind adding some flavor to it to make it palatable and hem us in, but for me to say that, then there are things that are out of my control.
Understood.
So I'm not opposed to it, but if we could just have a little bit of latitude for unforeseen things.
Thank you.
Hello, I had a question about conditions of approval number 4. It says the developer owner is required to finance the annual operating costs for police and fire services, as well as storm drain, public landscaping, street trees, street lights, parks, and open spaces. And I was wondering how you were going to go about financing that.
I believe I can let city staff answer that question.
Yes, Commissioner, they will be part of a CFD. And so that condition refers to the fact that they will be they'll be part of a CFD, and there'll be public impact fees that are associated with its development that'll help fund those things.
It will be annexed in before final map or whenever the timing of the CFD is, and then the homeowners individually will pay on the tax on a per year basis.
Commissioner Swigert?
Okay, so there'll be a CFD, so there'll be a Melrose also? So the CFD will stay for perpetuity, correct?
That's our version, yes.
Okay. That was not my question, though. I was just trying to understand that.
You don't have a count, it's okay.
My question is for the streets in the Welton.
Yes.
They're kind of going to liken the Moraga area. So right now, we have issues with people not being able to park because some houses could have 4 or 5 cars. So that runs into it. Do you foresee any issue with that? Because like I said, we're dealing with issues in North Merced with the streets being so narrow and the kickouts only allowing for 2 cars. And they have an HOA there and they can't even control it.
Most HOAs can't control that. You have to have really a lot of teeth into it to do that. Even so, it's still a problem even in neighborhoods where people park in other people's, space of the front of their house. We've had a lot of projects similar to this in the Fresno and Clovis area. The homeowners manage to police most of the time, but the options here with the garage as well as the long driveway and then the spaces out in front, they managed to work through that. And we were also discussing with city staff about some measures, maybe a bus turnout along Campus Parkway to promote, public transit as well, those types of things. Because what are we thinking is going to come down in there in those smaller houses? It's going to be the lots. It's going to be first-time buyer that, maybe not have the 3 or 4 cars and also maybe college students.
Right, but you can't control somebody and, parking in their garage.
Yes.
So you're going to have a lot of people who don't park in their garage that has, so I think parking might be a little bit of an issue.
It always could be, yes.
Just want to let, I'll come this way, I apologize.
Sorry, we're impromptu.
I like the teaming. That's good.
No, I just want to let you know, Tony DeMello, North Star Engineer. I'm the project manager for the project. The roads that we're proposing on the Welton on the south, they're all city standard residential streets. So they're not the Moraga 20 foot from curb to curb. They're the standard city streets. So there's parking on both sides. There's not parking pockets. Just wanted to clarify that. It's all city standard streets. We didn't deviate from city standards at all. So I just wanted to clarify that.
But
I
there'll
know,
be designated spots to park, correct?
yeah, there's spots that'll be available to park. We don't designate the spots. They're not like parking pop-outs like they have in Moraga. They're not
Okay.
that. They're just city standard roads with parking available as needed in between driveways and in between fire hydrants. So just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Commissioner Greggins?
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on the comment about public transportation and the carve-out on Campus Parkway. And I apologize if I missed this in the design, but the packet was quite large this time. So if we have questions that are already in the packet, I'm going to apologize. Those 1,100 plus pages to
I would
review.
expect so.
Right? But in the design, I know along Campus Parkway, we have a already designated bike path that connects all the way down to almost the UC now. I mean, it's going that direction. Is there any design that connects the bike path to these developments? I see a shake of a head, yes, but it's not on record.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so too, because we
Okay.
talked about that during the entitlement stage.
Okay, so it's tied in through the parks
Yes.
and everything else?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have restrictions on Campus Parkway as anybody would, but we bring it around to tie in.
Right, some sort of
Absolutely.
path that ties
Yes.
into their path.
That's the goal, you know, you put these amenities in there, you want them to be able to tie in. You want to
Right.
be able to have a pathway and flow.
Yeah, because if we have a 6'8" wall that blocks off the pathway all the way
Absolutely.
through, it doesn't help.
Yeah. North Star is really good at that. You know, I've been at this quite a while too, and that's, you want to build something that has flow,
Yes.
you know, and people can go to one place to the next.
I see it, but that other house didn't have one.
Commissioner Smith?
Yeah. In the smaller developments, I don't see a sidewalk.
Yeah, can we put the
Can you-
streetscape back up? Thank you.
I see the driveway, and there's no sidewalk, and I see the cars out right here.
There.
Okay, I see it now. Okay, my bad.
Let's clear that.
Okay, thank you.
I do have another question.
Okay. Commissioner Delgadillo?
What's the distance for the next school?
What?
The grammar school, high school?
Why, do we do, we haven't done the, what the distance is to the schools, houses and everything like that?
Approximately.
Normally, when we do the projects, we develop in-house CCNRs, and then we gather up the distances to the local schools and tell them what elementary school they'll be going to, what junior high school they'll be going to, and what high school they'll be going to, you know, and the busing and everything like that. So the project's already annexed in, so we'll look on the school boundaries and make sure, you know, that we report properly to these people where they're gonna be going. But I apologize for not knowing off the top of my head.
So there's no plan to build any schools near this project?
Not that I know of, no.
Commissioner Delgadillo?
Okay, thank you.
Johnny has an answer for you here.
They are within half a mile of the Pioneer, so they do have an elementary school within half a mile, within walking distance, what we'd consider walking distance of this development.
Just to follow up on that question,
That's
do we know if we have the mitigation letters from the elementary school on file?
They did not respond.
Did not respond. Okay, thank you.
They
That's
didn't. Yeah.
typical.
Yeah, no, it is. I just wanted it on record if we.
They're
have
gonna
it.
want they're gonna be excited about the population too.
Commissioner Ochoa?
Yeah, two questions. Again, it's a big packet. Phase one, what homes will be built first?
We'll probably start on both sides of the street. So we usually like to build closest to the main access, where we put our models and our first phases. So it'd be the same on both sides, but we will start the 3 product lines. A couple of them might be staggered. We have that all mapped out. We'd like to just get right out the gate with everything within a few months of each other, you know, and then trail on through. So up at the top in the Treasures, there'll be a couple phases close to Girard, and then down below along Campus Parkway in the Alpha, there'll be phases there, you know, and then the same with the Welton below.
Okay,
And even maybe down as far as Mission too, in the beginning.
got it. Thank you. And this may be a question for city staff, but I didn't see where they would be connecting to water and sewer. Is it off Girard and it's connected to Campus Parkway too, correct?
We actually have our engineering staff here, and so Rick Maddox can answer that question for you.
Yes, the planned sewer and water lines are actually run along Plime Road. That would be the main connections. And for the water, there's actually a planned loop system that would loop the water to connect the across Campus Parkway so that the water has a continuous loop.
So there is a water pipe underneath Campus Parkway?
Not yet.
Okay, and then Plum Drive, when is that gonna be done? Before the project starts or about this simultaneously?
It was in the conditions of approval that Plime Road needs to be built. This subdivision would be responsible for their portion of that, but the whole road needs to exist in order to have those water and sewer lines. There's also a sewer lift station involved with that. So the road itself, there needs to be, agreements to get that the road is completely built.
Got it. And they're gonna connect on Girard Avenue then?
Plime connects into Girard and goes all the way down to Mission to the south.
Got it. Thank you.
Before you go, now, in that new road that's being built, I can't remember if I saw there was supposed to be a traffic light installed somewhere along this new project?
There will need to be a traffic signal at where Plime Road crosses Campus Parkway.
Okay.
That's a known requirement. I don't know that it's been decided if there's others that might end up being required.
Right, but just at that one intersection of Campus Parkway and Pine, there's supposed to be a traffic light there, correct? Okay.
Correct.
You all set? Yeah, I think we're good for now. Thank you. And then are we good with the applicant? We are. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Oh,
Oh, not done
Commissioner
yet.
Greggins?
Well, it just kind of dawned on me that the question for the light, do you take on a responsibility of that street light to put it in, do anything like that as a developer, or is that on the city?
It's actually part of our conditions.
Part of the
But it's a
conditions.
joint effort between two adjacent developers.
Okay. So when you're going to be building out, it sounds like simultaneous phases. It won't be like a phase one in the north and phase two in the south. It'll be more simultaneous as you build.
Pretty much.
What will trigger the install of that traffic light as you are building? Will it be before construction begins? It will be after? You know, what triggers it to go into place in your plans?
You know, it's normally based on a study, but in this instance, studies didn't require it, but it's an agreement between two adjacent property owners to build it, and the city's placed it in the conditions to us to build it. So we haven't currently worked out with engineering staff as to the trigger of it what needs to be done, but it's like anything. We don't like to hesitate on traffic signals or parks. They're long lead items. It takes a year to get the parts for the build of the signal, so that's something that we would probably want to dive in fairly soon with the project to get those long lead items ordered so that we can build that signal in a timely fashion. It's not our goal to delay it any longer than necessary. But
Okay,
there's nothing that states the timing that we have to have it built by.
Right, and that was my next follow-up question. Would you be against having something with timing in the conditions, like the traffic light will be up and functional prior to first occupancy, something similar?
I would-
Within reason in regards to things
I
that
would
may
definitely
come-
object to that on a traffic signal. There's just way too many constraints on traffic signals, plus the city to approve it and things like that. Normally, when traffic signals are placed in conditions, it's usually on a project this size, something like the 200th, 300th occupancy.
Yeah. The one thing that gives me a little bit of ease in this regard is you're building simultaneously on the north and the south side of
Yeah.
Campus Parkway. I know it'd be more of a concern for me if you're building out in phase one, phase two, and
And
phase
leaving it
two
alone.
stalled.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden, we don't have a traffic light, but we have
No,
half of the
I
development.
hear you and I understand you, and I'm in the same thought process of you. It's just that I know how long they take to build,
Okay,
you know.
all right, thank you.
All right.
We good? Yep. Again, thank you so much for giving us some time today. I think we're good with our questions for the applicant at this time. We now move on to public hearing. Vicky, was there any leader of opposition?
Not to my knowledge. We have one request to speak card from Sarah Noster.
Okay, well, give me 1 second. Move to public hearing, other speakers. Before we, that's where we go. Have any members of the public wish to speak in person have sent emails or letters prior to this meeting?
We have not received anything other than the one request to speak form tonight.
Okay, great.
We call Sarah Noster to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Sarah. I live in the Sandcastle subdivision, which is on the northwest side of this development. When I moved into my house, I was very excited about the new stores and commercial development that was anticipated when Campus Parkway was fully constructed. So far, there are 2 gas stations, a hotel, Tractor Supply, McDonald's, Chipotle, and my favorite, Starbucks. I look forward to more stores and amenities, maybe even a second Target, my second place to go to shop. If the Planning Commission approves this zone change, there will be less land for commercial development, less land for stores to be built. I know there's a shortage in housing inventory, but there's also a shortage of stores in which to shop at on Southeast Merced, like clothing, stores, home improvement. I'd also like to raise a safety concern about the parking for the development on the south side of Campus Parkway. Most people don't park in their garages. They use it as storage, which means there's only the driveway. So people who live there or people who are visiting the residents of the South Development will probably end up parking on Campus Parkway, which isn't really allowed, but I'm sure they'll do it. People stepping out of the cars won't be paying attention to oncoming traffic, and they're going to get hit. That speed limit there is 55, so I have that concern about the parking for the development on the south side of Campus Parkway. I ask that the Planning Commission keep the entire area along Campus Parkway zoned for business park and manufacturing industrial use. This allows the land to be built into a business park that I've been waiting for, land that will provide amenities to the southeast portion of Merced. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. At this time, we close the public comment.
Actually, before we do that, I believe we received one more request to speak form from Eric Plime.
Okay.
I submitted one as well. I'm the owner of the, my name is Timothy Jones, and I'm the owner of the property, Merced Gateway LLC. I bought the property in 2007. We have tried very hard to attract business park development and office type development there with zero interest. We have had it marketed. We've done everything we can. It is not likely to happen anytime soon. Frankly, developing the houses is what's going to drive the demand, which will at least help Eric Plime's property probably develop out in the 9 acres of commercial that I'm going to retain. But the idea that we're going to put, 72 acres of business park in the south end of Merced is unfortunately not realistic. And I've tried now, what has it been, 17 years, 18 years, to no avail. I've worked with Lennar for a long time. They bought 4,000 lots from me in Riverstone and Madera. They are about as good as it gets. When they tell you it's going to get done, it gets done. When they do it right. It's why I reached out to them to get them involved here. I'm pleased with what they're doing. I hope you approve this. I would like to thank you all for your time and the staff for their time because they worked hard to help move this along. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak at this time?
Eric Plime.
Good evening, Commission, City staff. I'm Eric Plime. I'm the adjacent landowner next to this Lennar Homes project that's going in. And I'm the co-owner, general manager of Gateway Marketplace, the retail center that the young lady here was talking about that needed the markets. And Mr. Jones made a very accurate statement in that we as retail developers need rooftops to drive retail to look at us. In the world of retail, you can look at all the statistics you want. It's based, when you want the larger shops, the shops that we don't have in Merced, I see it very often, a lot of the social media sites here in Merced, they want a Trader Joe's, they want this, they want that. We've got to get to a population of at least 100,000 people before that sends a signal down the retail commercial segment that these people are now large enough to really take a look at. We are working with Lennar Homes now. I've known Mr. Jones for, like he said, 17, 18 years. We've had a great working relationship, and we need this project in South Merced. the more rooftops we develop, the more interest we'll get in our retail center that's located right adjacent. We presently have 42 open acres. We have no commitments. The tenant traffic is starting to gradually increase as far as their interest in the marketplace. I will tell you that. I think that once, I don't want to get into national agendas, but I think once interest rates come down to a reasonable area, we'll have a lot more interest in the marketplace. The one reason I came in tonight was not only to support Mr. Jones in the Lennar efforts and what we're doing out at Merced Marketplace, Gateway Marketplace. In the Planning Commission's findings and considerations on the resolution, on page 2, number D, under findings and considerations, we have the developer applicant will share in the cost improvements as needed required by city engineer to support the circulation operation of the development, and so on. So the city engineer is very much involved in that. We have been talking to the city about it, but I would like to request that that be moved into conditions of approval rather than just findings, as findings aren't binding. And I want to make sure that we address that fully, that we are doing a cost share agreement that the city engineer is aware of.
We do have a condition that does talk about fair share improvements. It's condition number 22.
All right.
That that does require the developer to, it says the developer will provide their fair share of improvements as determined by the city engineer and/or substantial studies, including but not limited to street, curb, sidewalk, any traffic control devices along Plime, Girard, Campus Parkway, and/or Mission.
So we're just being repetitive and going into the findings rather than,
The findings is just that, it's a finding,
right,
but the condition then binds it.
okay. Okay, thank you very much. Again, the Gateway Marketplace does support this project, and I think it is very much needed in South Merced. Thank you.
We do have one more request to speak from Anthony DeMello.
I provided a comment card just so I could assist with that one matter, just to confirm the roadway and just, so that's about it. I am, as the engineer of the project, I've been working with Lennar. They're great to work with. We're excited for the opportunity to work with the city. I've worked, this is like my maybe 8th or 9th job I've done in town over the last 20 years. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak at this time? Sir? Yeah. Come on up, yep. Yeah. Just be sure to, they're gonna give you a card to fill out after.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is the first time I've been in this type of scenario. I didn't realize it was going to be like this formal, but I came from the Bay Area and the Milpitas area, and there's a lot of, I've seen all the construction and all that. I came over here to kind of see the country more, a little less people, little less cars and all that stuff. But I like construction, but I'm in the, what is it, Hydrangea Court area right there. So it's right, the area they want to build is right there. But yeah, I seen that they had the idea of having the business, which was pretty good to me, but I didn't realize that they were having issues with trying to find people to build that. But I'd like to get with somebody offline probably to speak about how I can go about, like I said, this is the first time I come in this type of environment, so it's kind of new to me. So I'd like to speak to somebody to kind of get me online, on track. I'm an Iraq War veteran as well, and I just wanted to let you know, I really appreciate this, this city. It's really, there's a lot more conservative people than in the Bay Area. So, you know, I like it. But, yeah, if I could just get somebody to help me out after, that's
Absolutely.
pretty much it. Like I said, I have more to say, but I think if somebody was to kind of guide me as to what to do, how to do these things. But thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak at this time? All right, at this time, we'll close the public comment and bring it back to the commission for discussion. Commissioner Greggins.
Yeah, I mean, I like the project. I think there's still a couple questions that need to be asked, and I think we need to address at least the one that came up the soonest, or the most recent to the conversation is, you know, the business and commercial that we're giving up, right? Because we're giving up potential business and industrial, industrial space. So staff, do we have enough business and industrial acreage within the city of Merced to replace this industrial business complex? Just in case, I mean, land equals jobs sometimes, not just houses, you know, so do we have that in storage somewhere?
Commissioner Greggins, immediately east of the subject area lies over 300 acres, probably closer to 400 acres of available industrial park space. And all that's about 225 acres are ready to go. It's shovel ready. The others would just need some minor improvements. So for the industrial user, we do have that. Business park wise, we are looking at other sites through the general plan update process because we wanted to expand it, and that's something that we've done with Mr. Jones, is expand the definition of business park, because we were working with him, and he's absolutely right, it was a challenge to bring users there. But now we're looking at business park, not only for business park use, but for research and development, life sciences, bio, and high tech. So yes, through that process, we'll be able to identify the property for business park, but industrial, we're in great shape.
Okay, thank you. And just to kind of follow up on the other side, so we have the new road that's Plime, I think I'm saying that right, I'm not sure. To the west of that proposed road to Coffee, there's some vacant land there. What is that zoned as currently? Is that residential as well?
The property zone, the property just to the west of, on Coffee?
Yes, from Coffee to the new proposed development.
Yes, that is commercial.
That's commercial as well. And then we have across Coffee going west, that 99 in Parsons kind of encompasses right there is vacant as well. And I believe that is also commercial as well, correct?
That is correct, sir. So we not only have the Gateway Marketplace, which Mr. Klein pointed out that we have 42 acres remaining, but Campus Parkway Plaza is what you're defining.
Okay.
So we have the areas on the south side of Campus Parkway where the Hilton Garden Inn is currently under construction. Once that phase is done, then the developer plans to move on the north side, which is probably closer to 20 acres, divide that out to about 6 or 8 projects within that area. So yes, there will be more opportunities for commercial along that space.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Comment, Commissioner Greggins, thank you for outlining that for us, understanding the full picture of the housing development piece that we're looking at right now with the opportunity of all that retail that's already ready to go. So thank you for outlining that for everybody. Really exciting project. Any comments, questions?
Just more discussion. In the question to the developer. I proposed the question of putting a timeline on the park. And he was not opposed to doing some sort of language regarding putting the park in at the same time as completion of the house, you know, because I believe when a kid moves into his first house, he should have a piece of grass in a jungle gym somewhere to play on, you know. So I think that's important. Just kind of bringing it up to the commission, you know, what do you guys think about that? Is that something that we would like to add into the condition?
My thoughts are I think go to the credibility of Lennar, and I think Lennar has a really, you know, they're credible. When I did my house hunting, you know, my wife wanted a Lennar home, and every place we went to, the parks were built out within a reasonable time. So I would, you know, waiver to that, waiver to the timeframe that he talked about would be sufficient for me, but open to any more comments or suggestions.
I agree with Commissioner Greggins as far as I'd like to have it sooner than later, especially with the high-density homes on the south side. There's not going to be a lot of room for those kids to play, so having a park is going to be essential. So I'd like to have it kind of wrapped into the...
We could add something to the effect of, for condition number 2, developer shall dedicate and improve the proposed park spaces by build out a first phase or something to that effect. You know, we can maybe, staff can work to determine that, but I don't know if there's if that works for Lennar.
We have no problem working with you on something that's amiable and satisfactory.
So I don't know if we build out a first phase, or if you come to the.
I guess I'd have to see how big the first phase is. You know, I'm thinking somewhere between, I would propose 75 closings. I'd feel comfortable with that. My goal would be to beat it, because I'll have somebody breathing down my neck as to why the park's not finished before the first occupancy. But things happen, and so, you know, I don't want to hold people up for occupancies in their homes because we've been delayed on receiving park equipment.
75 out of the total?
Is the first phase defined by 75 total units?
Not necessarily.
Usually 25 for each product line, that's 75.
Okay.
We like to get out the gate pretty quick.
Commissioner Greggins?
Yeah, so are we building in phases or are we building simultaneous phase, or simultaneous build?
Simultaneous.
I'm a little confused at this point.
Well,
So what
I
are
believe
you
that
talking about phases?
2 will
for?
start out right at the beginning, and then there'll be a third that'll be staggered. But not very far behind, maybe 2-3 months max.
Typically when, just so you know, commissioners, typically when, after a development has been approved, tentative map, then it goes through a final map stage. And a developer could come in with several phases at once for planning staff and engineering staff to work through. So it is not uncommon for simultaneous phases to be approved with planning staff and ultimately to the city council at the same time.
The way Lennar builds is we'll divide this up into 2 final maps, north and south, and we'll do improvement plans for both of those maps, and we'll start building simultaneously. I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Swigert, you had a question?
Probably not going to like this question. 1 park or 2 parks? Because there's a major road in between the subdivisions. And so if you have 1 park that's done and not the other park that's done.
No, it'd be both
It'd be
parks.
both of them? Okay.
Yeah,
Just make sure.
absolutely.
Okay.
Frank?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The city recently underwent installing new park equipment in several parks down in South Merced and then up in Ferentz Park as well as Applegate Park. The applicant is correct. We encountered a number of delays. We really did, and whether it was shipping or port or cost, or they just couldn't get it built. So I believe at first you said 50 units, 75 I think is reasonable, but no later than maybe like 100 units, I think would be reasonable to do just in case there's that delay. And we too experienced them, and what we thought was going to be a simple one-year project took us almost 2.5 years to get it done, just because the product was hard to get. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just kind of waiting for Johnny to come up with some language.
So I have, thank you, Mr. Chair. Developer, I'm not quite as, quick as our past secretary. Developers shall dedicate and improve the proposed park spaces by close of 100 units unless otherwise approved by the city.
You got your thumbs up on that?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
It's roughly about 20% of the build out, roughly. Yeah, I'm good with that. I can live with that.
I don't want to disappoint you.
Please,
Never
please
my
don't.
goal.
And it was never my goal to impress upon this as you and your builder.
Yes.
It's more of kind of setting a precedence as we get more and more developments going.
Yeah.
In the past, I've seen a lot of promises of parks being built, and I know of one development that's still waiting on their developer to build that park.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's been a lot more common.
yeah, it's a
It
3-foot
has.
fence that is now falling apart and weeds all over the place. So that's what it comes down to.
It was not a surprise to me.
Yeah,
Because I've seen it. I see it.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. Any other comments for the consent commission here? Swigert, you looking for something? You sure? Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what I got, yeah. My brain's on this.
All right, I'll see if I get this right. I'll make a motion to approve general plan amendment number 2403 to change the land use designation of the proposed residential area from business park and manufacturing industrial to low medium density residential and high medium density residential. Do we do each or all together?
Well, go ahead.
So this is the recommendation to city council. So you, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, have to say recommend approval or denial to city council for, and then the 3 projects.
Okay, let me make sure I get this right. At the end, can I say with modification of condition 2 as said by city staff?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to recommend to city council the approval of general plan amendment number 24-03, the establishment of residential planned development number 83, zone change number 435, with modification of condition 2 as said by city staff.
I second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Ochoa, a second by Commissioner Delgadillo. We now move it to a vote. And it has passed unanimously. Thank you. That's clear. Thank you
Need a
for your time
second
today, guys.
motion?
Thank you.
And we still have the tentative map approval, and just wanted to let you guys know, remember that there's some other conditions that were also being changed, so in your vote, please consider those recommendations as well.
And this one is a direct action, and I'll request a motion to approve. Direct action approve vesting tentative subdivision map number 1333 and environmental review -24-30.
Discussion? On, Judge, just kind of help me out, because when you were listing the changes that were made to the conditions, can you revisit the changes to 22? I didn't quite catch those. We might have passed it, but I just want to double check.
22?
Yeah.
Developer will provide their fair
Oh,
share of
okay,
improvements.
Yep, no, I got that one. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I was in the same spot, so thank you.
And then on this one, Johnny, what else is needed that we needed to add to this language?
You could say with the conditions altered by staff, or maybe our legal counsel can say it better
Want to
than
do the
me.
whole thing?
I believe it would be the same language.
Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah, you can just, as part of the motion, say with the amendments as proposed and stated by staff.
The amendments. Okay, so I request a motion to approve the direct action of vesting tentative subdivision map 1333 and environmental review 24-30 with the amendments as proposed by staff.
Second.
We have a motion by Chairman Gonzalez and a second by Commissioner Reagans. We now move it to a vote. And that has passed unanimously. So that project is wrapped, right? All right, thank you. This one's wrapped.
Good luck.
Thanks. Love it. We now move on to item E2. Vicky?
Conditional use permit number 25-0007 and site plan review permit number 25-0009, initiated by Marco Espino, applicant for Marketplace Merced LLC, property owner. The conditional use permit would allow a 48-foot tall shopping center sign with a digital screen for the Marketplace at Merced. The site plan review permit would allow the applicant to set the development standards for the shopping center sign. The subject site is generally located on the north side of West Olive Avenue, approximately 425 feet east of R Street. The subject site has a general plan designation of regional community commercial and a zoning classification of Plan Development Number 1. This is a public hearing.
Good evening again. The project I have before you today is conditional use permit number 25-0007 and site plan number 25-0009 for a shopping center sign at Marketplace at Merced, located at 851 West Olive Avenue. This map shows where the proposed is located at a city scale context. The site is zoned Plan Development Number 1 and designated Regional Community Commercial in the general plan. This is a closer map displaying the site outlined in teal and where the proposed sign would be located, shown in yellow. The sign would be at the center of the southern portion of the site and would accommodate existing and new tenants. Here's a picture of the existing sign. It's a double pylon, 45-foot tall. And this is a proposed with an elevation visible from Olive Avenue. This picture is of what the sign would look like at nighttime when it's illuminated. The applicant is requesting a 48-foot tall sign with a structure area of 48 by 31 feet and a sign area of 80% of the sign. The proposed would serve an approximate 439 square foot building, whereas the dimensions allowed in the City of Merced zoning code are for buildings up to 25,000 square feet. These are some of the conditions outlined in the staff report. Condition number 9 states that all existing landscaping shall be kept healthy and maintained, and any damaged or missing landscaping shall be replaced immediately. Condition number 11, the city may use the digital screen to advertise city or community-sponsored events pursuant to section 20.62.140B4. Condition 13, no portion of the digital sign shall flash, blink, or include video display. Condition number 14, the sign shall not emit any audible sound, buzz, or noise. And condition number 15, the sign shall be limited to advertising related uses on premises on which the sign is located. Staff prepared a memo that is available for the commission, public, and on the record requesting the commission consider some changes made to the categorical exemption that was posted as attachment D of the staff report. After the planning commission opens the public comment period, the planning commission may approve, modify, or deny conditional use permit number 250007, site plan review number 250009, environmental review number 250017 with the revisions requested by staff. That now concludes my presentation. I am available for any questions.
Thank you, Valera, for your presentation on it. Commissioner Ochoa.
Hello. I had a question about condition 11. Is that going to be free for the city to use for city advertisements?
Yes.
Cool.
Commissioner Greggins.
Yeah, just for kind of the nerd in me, for the brightness of the screen, has there been any limits on nighttime use, like after 10 p.m.? And is it like how many, we call them nits, which is the candle luminescence, kind of like your computer screen, you know, or your laptop. If you're in light, it's brighter. At night, it dims. Is there anything like that?
Not at the planning stage. I believe that is addressed during building permit stage.
Building permit
Building
stage?
code would have regulations on that, if I'm not mistaken.
And then has there been any photometric studies done in regards to how, you know, the industry standards usually about 300 to 500 feet from houses, and I think we do have some, even though some buildings that are in between the proposed site plan and the actual residence. Has anything been like that been done with this at this point? Because my fear is we're putting a bright beacon out in the middle of Olive Avenue, and what is that going to do at night to potential residents? Because it's pretty tall and it goes over buildings. So I'm just curious.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's all I got. Oh, wait, I do have one other question. And I don't believe this is the case, but in order to install this sign, is there any plans for road closure to Olive that you've heard of?
Not that I've heard of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Greggins. Commissioner Delgadillo.
I would like an additional sign on Arch Street. And there is, I live very close to that place, but I believe that Arch Street is gonna go way beyond north, way beyond Bellevue Boulevard, and that street is gonna be, if it's not heavy now, it will be heavy later. It'll be nice to have another sign there.
All right. Is there any other questions? Not seeing anything. Thank you, Valera. Oh, no. No? Nope. Sure? Okay. Are there any other questions from the commission? No. This is a public hearing. At this time, I'll open the hearing for public comment. I invite the applicant to speak. The applicant will have a total of 15 minutes, including rebuttal time. If you wish to reserve time for rebuttal, please conclude your remarks to give yourself time. Does the applicant wish to speak?
Good evening, Commission, City staff. I'm Marco Spina with the contractor.
Okay.
I don't have a presentation, but I'm here to answer any questions that may come. I know you have some technical questions regarding the lighting, and those could be addressed. These units are very modern. They have software that can control that. So, do you have any questions regarding technical? Because I invited the client, and he's the mall manager, so he can answer any other questions that you may have regarding the business and so on.
Okay. Do you want to ask?
Yeah, I
anything
got some
specific?
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're up here. So I guess and like I said, I don't believe this is the case, but there shouldn't be no road closures to Olive, because you're putting the sign in basically where the current sign is at.
And the parking
So
lot.
it's all in the
yes.
parking lot.
I've been there, there is no road issues.
Okay,
And we
perfect.
cone everything, we will have at
Yeah.
least 2 heavy cranes up there. Not heavy, but
Well, right, but they won't be affecting the
They will not
corridor of
be-
Olive Avenue.
Exactly.
So, yeah, because that's just a major thoroughfare for us, and any lane
yeah.
closure causes all kinds of problems. So just making sure that's the case. And then getting into the technical side of things, would you be opposed to putting a nighttime cap on the NITs from like 10 PM to 7 AM?
I think that would be more for Max.
Can you just go to the microphone and say that on record, please? Just because we can't take.
I'll be speaking for the owner, I'm not the owner, so.
Yeah, so if it's not at the microphone with the card, we can't interact.
Do we have a condition that we can use? Something to add in?
Okay, and what was the question?
The question is, for the brightness at night, like after 10 o'clock to 7 AM, would you?
I don't think it would affect anything predominantly because of the distance to the houses that are on the other side of the commercial structures that are there. I think that it probably could be adjusted, the brightness of the light could be reduced to such a degree that it would not affect people and their driving. The current sign that's there, if it was fully illuminated, probably it might actually disturb you a little bit if it was had all the bulbs working in it right now. But we need to have it replaced, and this is the prime opportunity to do it. It's something that goes along with the development. The development is moving forward, and we've got a lot of new tenants coming, and this is a good replacement for an antique sign that's been up there forever. And it gives a lot of opportunity for the city as well to utilize it in the community.
Can you please state your name and city of residence for the record? Your name and your city of residence.
I'm sorry. My name is Max Whitley. I live in Merced. I don't know what else I could tell you. I'm the property manager for the mall. I've been there since when Cotting owned it, back in 2017. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a pen. I come equipped. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may address Commissioner Delgadillo's question about a sign along R Street. The R Street frontage is not owned by Ethan Conrad Properties. It's owned by Sage Co-Investments. So there will be a sign up along there once they turn in a sign plan to us. But the stores, they're anchored by different stores, although they share the same envelope that they're in, calling themselves Marketplace at Merced. It's a different ownership, and there are going to be different stores that will be going in there. It will be a sign, but it won't be related to Merced Mall.
Gotcha. Thank you. Are there any other questions from the commission to the applicant? No? Again, this is a public hearing. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak in person, have sent emails or letters prior to this meeting?
No,
Is there any leader of opposition?
no.
No? Is there anybody in the public who wishes to speak at this time? No? Hearing and seeing none. At this time, we close the public comment and bring it back to the commission for discussion. And I would entertain a motion. Commissioner Delgadillo?
I make a motion to approve the sign.
And I'll second the motion to approve conditional use permit 25-007, site plan review 25-009, environmental review 25-0017, categorical exemption with the revision requested by staff. Are there any questions from the commission before we vote? No? We now move it to a vote? All right, and it has been approved, 7-0. Put that sign up, and they will come. Thank you. Thanks, folks. We now move to item F, which is action items.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So our next meeting is July 23rd, where we'll have a couple of CUPs that come before you. Then we'll also have an appreciation dinner for our planning commissioner, Jose Delgadillo. He is leaving. He's served us so wonderfully. We appreciate your service and your time with us. We know that you could be doing something else, and so thank you so much for your time and your ice cream when you bring it. But we will be having an appreciation dinner on the 23rd for Jose. On August 6th, we'll also be meeting, you guys will be considering another conditional use permit. To kind of follow along the line of Jose stepping down, we do have two planning commissioners that have been appointed to the Planning Commission. Conchita has been reassigned or reappointed or appointed. And then we have another planning commissioner who will start by the next meeting. His name is Jerry Vu for District 6. As you know, we have a lot of general plan. Our general plan update is underway, as well as our downtown station area plan. There was our citizen advisory focus group. Those members were appointed. Chairman Gonzalez is going to be your member representative on in that group. So anything that you would want him to say or represent, he will be speaking for you on that group. Now, there'll be a lot of stakeholder meetings, other public engagement meetings where you can have a voice as well. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that he has been appointed to that group to represent the Planning Commission. Lastly, you will be hearing the general plan amendment that was before you a couple of meetings ago. It has been sent back to you by the City Council. It's the one with the 41 houses and the self-storage. The applicant is interested in making changes to the proposal, and so to do so requires them to come back to you and be considered. They will be working with staff to make those changes, and you will see those that project at a later time. Nothing's been scheduled at this point, but I just wanted you to know that it'd be coming back to you for consideration. And I think that is everything.
And that moves us to item H, which is adjournment, but we'll need a motion to adjourn.
As for my final motion, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Delgadillo to adjourn, and we have a motion, a second by Commissioner Ochoa. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. And we are adjourned.